always been really interested in set design, and so whenever I do my cosplays, I try to do like a little bit of set dressing with it because I think so. Sometimes this can just be little things like make props for the characters, so that way like your hands have something to do. But on this one, I've been really fascinated with bookshelves. I saw a whole bunch of theater set designers showing how they make fake bookshelves, and I'm currently in the home stretch of my emberlynn cosplay. I'm so excited. Like, and then I got this. Look at it. I'm so excited. But it's in the home stretch, and so the last thing is like, okay, where are we gonna shoot her? And her bedroom is so fun. And I have a whole bunch of like nerd shit in my office, and I was like, I could use some of that. And but anyway, I saw a whole bunch of like set designers. They were showing off how they were making fake bookshelves, and I can't get it out of my brain. I have a whole Pinterest board that is just fake bookshelves. So the plan is to make fake bookshelf, especially like the scene where she throws herself against the wall, and you've got like the little Charlie doll and all of her books and her pink foxtail in the background and like all of her stuff, and I love that. So the plan is to try to do that. I'm going to set it up in here, in there. So it's going to be in there, and I'm going to see if I can just use what I have on hand. That is the goal. So I would love to have that part of it done by Christmas. Currently, we have 3 days. Let's see how far I get because I am notoriously toxically optimistic. Where I think something will take 2 days and everyone thinks I'm insane, and they're like, ma'am, it's going to take a week. So let's see. So step one is grab all of the baseboards that were left over from redoing your baseboards and kind of sort of measuring things. The goal with this project was to use things that I already had around the house. So using the baseboards that I had left over was actually kind of perfect and fantastic. The problem is though, it's not all the baseboards are the same. So the shelves don't actually end up going all the way back against the wall, which honestly is fine. Like for what it is, it worked out perfectly, and I was able to use like the warped baseboards that have been sitting in there for so long, so that was freaking perfect. The other issue with them is because one side is painted and the other isn't. The paint really absorbed into the raw wood that you can see here, and you know what, that's fine. Again, like, you saw the videos at the beginning. Like, did you notice? No, you didn't notice. And if you noticed, no, you didn't. No, you didn't notice. So testing it out, like, it worked really, really well. And it was so funny because since my measuring skills are so bad, like, I don't measure. Me pulling out a tape measure there, that's the closest you'll ever see me get to using a tape measure. And as you can see, that bottom shelf is really large. And I was like, oh, well, luckily I went back to the reference material, and oh no, her bottom shelf is a lot larger than the other one, so you know what, it was a happy accident. I don't need you coming at me. So next step was I wanted to make all of the books that were on her bookshelf, and I had these random 2x4s, and again, like more baseboard parts, and I cut them into random bookish sizes, so many of them. Like, I really had it in my head that I really just wanted to make a bookshelf. Like, this has been living rent-free in my head for months. Like, is it normal to have an entire Pinterest board dedicated to faux bookshelves? Yes. Yes, it is. So what are you doing? Look at that lineup of books. It's so pretty. So this is just filler putty I'm going to use to hide my crimes that are on the bookshelf because, again, like, I was using the wrong size screws. They were too long. Baseboards are not meant to have something go into them that direction, so of course they split. Well, anyway, wood filler putty fixed that right up. And again, like, did you notice? No, you didn't. So, we're just gonna hide our sins. It's fine. Oh, she's so pretty. I still have it up in my office. I can't break it down. So here are all of the book covers I designed. I made every single one of these. And if you get any of the references, you're a degenerate, and I love you for that. So yeah, so then we took a whole bunch of Elmer's glue and slathered each one of the pieces of wood. And again, like, they're not the size of a book. You just need to see the spine. And if you think about it, my bookshelf is only the size of baseboards, which is a couple of inches big. So everything kind of had to be cut in half. So these books are half the size of a standard book.
And again, like you saw the finished product, it ended up actually looking really amazing. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these though. Like, what am I going to do with a whole bunch of like decorative books that say Demon Dick, All Lick, or Milking Farm, or My Dragon Daddy? What am I going to do with all of these? Like, there's so many. I don't know. You want them? Send them to you. Just, you'll have to explain it to your family next time they come over. At least I won't have to. I don't know. Maybe I could actually. I have a shelf in here. I could put them on. Might do that because like I put so much love into these. Like I spent hours in Photoshop designing every single one of these, and so many of them are accurate to the character. But anyway, I painted the tops and bottoms white to make it look like pages from far away. I was originally gonna get like real detailed with this and like draw on or detail the pages and have like some pages coming out and bookmarks and things like that. But then when I looked at them after I got the white put on, I realized that wasn't necessary. Like they look really good. And I did add bookmarks to some of them, but the problem is like you see the spines of these. You don't really see the sides. And so if you have a bookmark coming down the back of it, it ends up covering the spine of the book, which was all the details, all the fun stuff, all the ridiculousness. And if it was going down the side, well, nobody's looking at it from the side, so you can't see it. And then if you put a bookmark in it, like to make it look like a faux bookmark, which I did on one of them, like sticking straight up, because you're looking at it from the spot, you can't see it. So if I was making a stack of books that you could see the pages, then I probably would have done it, but we ended up scrapping that idea. But you can get as detailed as you want. But literally, this is just glue paper onto a bunch of 2x4s, and it looks like some really bomb-ass naughty books. Anyway, so I vaguely measured on some of these, so I had to trim a lot of them to fit. And honestly, just after I painted them first with the white, because going in with the white after I cut them was leaving like a white gooey residue that was not that kind, you fucking dirty bastard. It was leaving like a white goo spooge on the edges of the books, which I didn't like, and it was making them look a little weathered and used and well loved. So if I painted the white first and then cut the excess paper off, then it actually protected it. So that worked really well. I made a couple of these smaller ones. I was going to make more, but then I ran out of printer ink at 3 a.m. and the goal was not to spend money. I really did not want to go buy a colored printer. Like, it just makes me angry every time I have to do that. I ended up painting the bookshelf a couple of colors. Like, at first I thought it was black, and I was like, oh, it's fine. Oh, look at my little baby! Just look at the little squirty go. We ended up 3D modeling and printing Emberlynn's pendant when we printed it out of imperfections in it. So I went in and used Bondo, sanded the crap out of it, and then went in with just a filler primer, sanded the crap out of it again, used acrylic paint, and then just some UV resin. Little noodle tentacle babies. Isn't she so cute? Ugh. Anyway, so once I carved out my tentacle thingies, I used Creature Cast rubber, which honestly, I would die for this rubber. I love it so much. It's run by this really lovely maker, so you should totally go support him. But I cover the majority of my props in this stuff to just kind of give it a protective layer. It also fills in a lot of that texturing. So with a couple of coats, this gets really smooth, but I just really love the protective layer it gives. You can glue to it. It's really durable. You can paint it. I love it so much. So again, like I cover everything in this stuff. This or latex. So there's my little tentacle babies. And as you can see, like every time you add a layer, it fills it in more and more. I think I ended up doing 4. And that was some pretty intense texture I had to go in and change. So like, you know what? It's fine. And honestly, maybe I just wanted to get my tentacles all nice and wet and shiny and juicy. And oh my God, I know you're just so excited about this right now. I know I am. Ah, look at that. I totally realized that in this prop, in there, like I had to spend so much time staring at her bookshelf, and the amount of adult novelties on that bookshelf is so much more than you would realize. Like, I don't know what this is. This was like a cute little good girl award. I don't know, but
you putting some sort of nasty spell over me?
What? No, I'm literally just standing here, lady.
If you say so, Master. I mean, Daddy.